If you're a B2B or B2C business owner making 5 or 6 figures per month, but still not booking consistent sales calls from LinkedIn, this video is for you. Because in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how we book 10 to 20 calls with LinkedIn every single month without spending a dime on ads, without needing to go viral, or without chasing likes and all these vanity metrics. Because in the past 20 months, I've worked with over 50 B2B founders and CEOs using this exact system to book hundreds of sales calls and add millions in revenues to their businesses through a simple content and outbound funnel. Take Marcin, for example, who has signed multiple deals with 7-figure e-commerce brand owners consistently from Twitter, or Evan Seach, who we've helped book 50 plus sales calls and add 2,500 followers in the past few months from LinkedIn and Twitter. Right now, I'm going to show you the exact method behind it all, so let's get right into it. All right, so this is the LinkedIn system that is helping us book 10 to 20 qualified meetings every single month for our B2B clients, and I'm going to pretty much walk you through it all. So who this is for, like I said, B2B and B2C offers that already have undeniable proof around their offer, but still struggling to display that in front of the right people on LinkedIn. So this is not for beginners. You need to go get some case studies first. That's the prerequisite to any kind of social selling you're going to do on LinkedIn or Twitter. If you don't have proof, no one is going to believe your advice. So I highly recommend you start with free work, go get a few case studies and then start posting about it, start DMing, getting clients from there. It's pretty simple. So first, why most people fail on LinkedIn. The first reason is they underestimate effort. A lot of people think, we'll start posting. Within 2 weeks, we'll start getting inbound leads. It's not how it works. If that was how it worked, everyone who posted content on LinkedIn would get clients. And that's simply not true. It's, becoming more and more saturated as time progresses. People are starting to realize, okay, we need to be on LinkedIn. And therefore content is getting more saturated. You can't just hop on, start, posting from Claude and get clients. It's just not how it works. Second, DMs are the biggest blue ocean on LinkedIn right now. And I think it's probably the biggest blue ocean in B2B client acquisition in general. People just aren't taking advantage of the level of personalization you can utilize on the platform. So if you can master your DMs, your ICP is on LinkedIn, there's no reason you won't be able to book a ton of sales calls. I've seen it time and time again over inside of 50 plus accounts on LinkedIn. So yeah, you need to be DMing with a level of personalization that separates you from the people spamming scripts and treating LinkedIn like cold email. And we'll get into that in a second. Third is they post with no strategy, posting random, tips or motivational post that doesn't drive revenue, doesn't move the needle on LinkedIn. Anyone can post random, super, broad content. You need to be posting specific content that's relevant to your ICP, stuff that they care about, as well as mixing in some personal stuff, maybe some lead magnets. But there's a specific content mix that you need to actually move the needle on LinkedIn and sign clients. And then fourth, they didn't do any market research. You need to know, what are our competitors doing? What lead magnets are working? What kind of personality posts should I be doing? You need to be relevant is what I'm trying to get at. LinkedIn is a very fast moving platform. You need to be hopping on trends, be talking about the right things, seeing what your competitors are doing, see what's working in the DMs, etc. So market research is also a big thing. It's not as big as the other three, but definitely you need to be aware of what's going on. So this is the core system that we're using. And the step one is targeting the right people. Everything starts with your connection request. This is the most leverageable weapon on LinkedIn in terms of client acquisition. You need to get hyper specific with your target market. And the way we do this is we build lists in Sales Navigator. You don't need Sales Navigator. I have a video about Sales Navigator and how to, use it, and also how to leverage LinkedIn, just the organic native platform, to send connection requests because you don't need Sales Nav. So go ahead and watch that. But for now, this is a very broad overview of targeting the right people, sending connection requests. This is going to be the foundation of your client acquisition strategy on LinkedIn because we're building our connections with targeted people within our ICP. And then eventually we're going to be sending them DMs. Eventually they're going to be landing on our profile. Eventually they're going to be looking at our content saying, okay, is this guy competent? Is he worth booking a call for? So this is the foundation, building a repeatable daily process to actually send these connection requests. You get 800 a month. So we split it up 40 per day, Monday through Friday, and then you get capped out at 800 a month, like I said. You can use a Setter VA to send connection requests if you don't have the time. This is a very high leverage thing to outsource. I highly recommend that, especially if you are above 20, 30K a month. Definitely hire that out to a VA. It's not super hard. And then only connect with people who match your ICP and are active on LinkedIn and in first world countries. Once again, go watch my Sales Navigator video. That will be very helpful in terms of that. And then also track your acceptance rates. It should be around 40 to 50% if you're sending them blank, if you have a good profile, if you write good content, etc. So This is step one, sending good connection requests. Step two is actually optimizing your profile. It's going to help not only nurture prospects that land on your profile, but it's going to help you have a higher percentage of, blank requests turning into connections. If people land on your profile and it looks like crap, they can't tell what you do, you look like a scammer, no one's going to connect back with you. But if you have a nice profile, a good banner, you have a specific outcome you provide, you have social proof trusted by these companies, you have your follower, you're in a first world country, that's a big thing. You have your company name, like that's how you will get a high acceptance rate if your profile looks good. So banner should get attention, communicate your value, book 5 to 10 calls on LinkedIn. It's very specific. The about section should build trust and credibility. It should be a bit about you and your business. About section is not super important. No one really reads that. Featured section should have case studies, testimonials, etc. And your headline should be very specific: who you help, what problem you solve, and what results you get. Profile is very simple. Like, you don't need to overcomplicate this. It's very, very simple. So I'm not going to go over this. If you want this doc, comment below and I'll send it to you if you want to read this, but it's not that important. Step 3, why content actually matters. So content, like I said, you can't just post and get leads, but content does matter, and it's not for the way you might think. So it doesn't matter how good of a writer you are. Content, like I said, not going to land you clients. What is massively important is the trust that content builds. Trust is the prerequisite for booking calls on LinkedIn. And the best way to build trust with a completely cold prospect is having super dense posts that are highly relevant to your prospect. That way, when they land on your profile, they look at your post. He's posting expertise content. He's posting testimonials. He's posting case studies. He's posting his opinions on relevant topics within the niche. People look at that kind of stuff and they think, okay, Aiden has his head screwed on straight. He's, giving his opinions. He's showing us he can walk the walk and talk the talk. Services might be worth investing in. Content is essentially the prerequisite to help your DMs convert better. And once again, we're going to get into DMs in a second here, but writing good content is very, very important. You can read once again, I'll send you this doc. Just comment down below if you want to read all this. But in terms of content, keep it simple. Frequency, 5 times a week, 1 case study, 3 strategics, trends, tactical advice, 1 lead magnet if you have the time to put these together. I have other videos on lead magnets. I won't get into them now. And 1 personal potentially. These do really well in terms of reach. They're not going to get you leads though. These are the posts that get you leads. So strategic posts like, how we booked 20 sales calls for XYZ client. Here's how, and then walk through your process. Trends, OpenAI is hiring a content writer. Here are my thoughts on it. That's kind of like, trend jacking. It shows, okay, this guy is an authority in the space. He has opinions on things that are relevant. These get a lot of reach and they show you are an actual authority. Tactical stuff, once again, like our 7-step framework for higher converting DMs, etc., and then giving advice with it. This is all just basic thought leadership 101. Again, not going to get you many inbound leads unless you're a prodigy, but really, really good to just have as a trust bank on your profile. That way, when people land on it, they're like, okay, this guy is competent. Then you can use this 3-4-5 framework to help you really organize your content. So there are 3 content pillars: strategical, tactical, entertainment. Like I kind of just went over 4 content types: social proof, trending, education, personal, and then 5 formats content can come in. So carousels, infographics, Loom videos, text only, and giveaways. If you're just beginning, text only is great. Infographics, they don't really move the needle anymore. I would focus on text only. And then I don't think I have it here, but also having personal images. So lifestyle images, you out at dinner, you with a client, you walking your dog, those perform really well when you can pair them with a relevant post. So that is content sorted. And by the way, if you want this full LinkedIn system implemented, fully done for you with 30 minutes to an hour commitment of your time per month, check the first link in the description, book a call with us, see if you're a fit. We handle everything from content strategy, DMs, outreach, profile, etc. I guarantee we'll book you 5 to 15 qualified calls every single month, or you won't pay. We help people like Marcin start booking calls with 7-figure e-commerce brands on Twitter. He landed Bill Gates as a client. Here's that screenshot, and a few other clients he got, just proven with screenshots. So yeah, if you want this done for you, book that call in the description. But yeah, let's get back into the video. So step 4 is outbound messaging. This is the most important part of actually signing clients on LinkedIn, is mastering psychology in the DMs, because LinkedIn client acquisition is technically only 10% tactics in my opinions. DMs and once again, this is about DMs, but that is more of a tactical thing. The DMs, what actually makes the DMs work is psychology. Every touch point, especially in the DMs, so content and DMs, but especially in the DMs, is super, super important. to have dialed in. The highest performing operators know that buyers aren't just responding to what you say. They're constantly inferring who you are and how you say it. And this is why people struggle to book calls in the DMs. Everyone's treating it like cold email. Everyone is treating the DMs like a vessel to book calls with AI and automation. And they're not actually trying to help their prospect. And that's why, no one is doing it like this. And I actually learned the DMs from the man himself, Ty Frankel. You should go check him out. I'll link his stuff in the description. But essentially, he came up with these 7 psychological frameworks that are the most important to master when DMing. And this will give you the foundation of actually how to get replies on LinkedIn, what kind of goes through prospects' heads when you are DMing them. And yeah, it's just going to help you approach it from a totally different perspective than 99% of the people. It's going to help you stand out. It's going to help you frame yourself in the right way. That way you can jump onto sales calls when you actually do book these calls and have that right frame that you're an authority. You are someone worth talking to. These 7 psychological signals are genuinely the most life-changing things in terms of like B2B sales you could possibly learn. I learned them and I instantly started booking 3 to 5 sales calls per week on LinkedIn. I'll go over them super quickly. Probably, once again, if you want the doc, comment down below. You can read through all this. But the first one is competence. Displaying an amount of competence in your DMs is so important. You need to signal to prospects that you know what you're doing. You're not some beginner. Once again, go get those case studies, 2 to 3 of them, and then leverage your experience at a high level. This guy says, I don't spend much time on LinkedIn nowadays. Angie, why not? Your market is on here, not ecom, but SaaS, info guys, etc. They're very active. Like, I'm showing my competence here. I'm being confident. Yeah. Why? What do you mean? I'm not afraid to speak up to prospects. So that's the first one, having a high level of competence and displaying that with confidence. Outcome independence is huge in terms of DMs, in terms of life in general. When you can detach from the outcome, not really care, I don't need to book this call, and approach DMs from that perspective, not being super pushy, it's so attractive to buyers. And I guarantee if you have outcome independence when you're DMing, you will book more. It's just night and day. I guarantee it. So instead of like being like, yes, I would love to jump on a call, like I'll adapt to your schedule, whatever you need, I'm willing to jump on a call. I'd be down for it. I would like to see if this is a fit. Like, that frame is everything. And then third, overwhelming amounts of proof. Once again, back to the being able to walk the walk and talk the talk. I don't know why this image isn't showing up, but if you can drop relevant case studies that are specific in the DMs, like if I'm talking to a Shopify CRO agency and I can say, oh yeah, by the way, this guy's super similar to you. We actually booked 18 demos in 21 days for a Shopify agency using daily posted DMs. It's going to resonate with that person a lot. So if you can drop little lines like this with proof, that's everything as well. Courage is big. Having balls, having the nuts to, put your ass on the line and just run towards fear in the DMs. It sounds so weird, but like here's an example. I'm talking to this prospect and I make a crazy call. I tell her we're going to book this call before she even agrees to it. I recognize, okay, like this conversation's going well. You guys obviously can't see what happened before, but I recognize this conversation is going really well. I like where this is headed. She seems pretty interested, and you can't do this when they're not interested, but she had a high level of interest. So been a ghostwriter or whatever, seen drastic performance boost with manual outbound across dozens of accounts. Haha, yeah. And she said, the only reason I answered you is because I can see you typing. Haha. And I said, haha, yeah. So you can see what we do works at a pretty high level, and we're going to book this call here. So there you go. Live demo. Haha. I should have some time. Want to do that. And then she that's the kind of confidence, that's the kind of courage you need sometimes to book in a call. So just like, once again, these all tie in with each other. I'm very detached here as well. I'm very competent here. I have outcome independence. I don't really care. And then I have proof as well. Like, all these things kind of are one, but they're separate. So yeah, that is the fourth one. The fifth, high signal communication, always being very clear with the prospect that you're mirroring them in a sense. That's the best way to describe this, is mirroring the prospect. So when you want to show that you care, that you aren't there just, once again, this kind of detachment, showing I'm here to chat with you, see if I can help, not to hop on a sales, see if we can hop. It makes sense to hop on a sales call. And one of the best foundational ways to do this is mirror them, show you are interested. So if they message me, I love to say, I would love to show them saying, I see, like, I'm thinking about his reply and I'm mirroring what they say to me back to them. So he said, like this example, I see. So your main bottleneck, it isn't post volume. It's post volume, not targeting. They probably said like, yeah, right now, our big problem is post volume. Like, and so your main bottleneck is volume. I'm repeating, okay. So you've got a team, like they say, yeah, we have a team of 20. Okay. So you've got a team of 20, like, and then once again, addressing their stuff. But like this kind of stuff, like not just replying straight to their, like jumping into the, like trying to get to the sale fast as possible. No, like I really want to deeply understand you. I want to be detached, thinking. I'm showing them, conveying spontaneity. I'm showing them, okay, I'm genuinely interested in helping you. It's subtle, but it goes a long, long ways. Authority through context and framing. Frame is the biggest thing in DMs, especially when it comes to showing up on the sales call. Kind of alluded to this earlier, but you want to show up on that sales call having framed yourself in the right way throughout the DM conversation. So sending them looms, being helpful, sending them Notion pages, case studies, sales assets, anything that will help them. If they have a problem, if they are super focused on their newsletter and they tell you that, ping them a contact of your friend who grows newsletters. Are they struggling with cold emails? Give them your best cold email contact or give them an asset that helped you with cold email. If they're struggling, if people in my DM struggle with LinkedIn content, I send them a PDF I put together on how to write hooks. It helps a ton. I want to help them as much as possible, make intros, show them I'm competent, show them I know people, I'm connected, I can help. And then you hop onto the call and that person knows, okay, I'm trying to help. They've went through my case studies. They've seen I have, connection in the space. So we hop on that call, like they instantly know I am competent. And that's that frame you really want. And then control, this is the final layer. You want to control the conversation, not in like a, psychotic way, but you want to give them your calendar. You want to make sure it is a fit for you as well. You want to make sure you can help them at a high level. If they come to you inbound, like, hey, like I would love to book a call. You don't want to be like, yeah, cool, let's book a call. You want to control, like, wait, let's see if this is fit. Like, can I help you? And then once you guys do agree to a call, okay, here's my calendar, book this in my calendar. Like you want to control that because at the end of the day, you're the expert. You're the one that's going to help them. So control is a big one as well. Step 5, timeline to results. Usually this is what it looks like. This isn't really a step, but this is the timeline you can expect. Week 1 to 2 profile setup, sending your first connections. You're sending your first DMs. You're learning the landscape. Weeks 2 to 4, you're getting your replies. You're starting to book calls if you can, walk conversations down the right way. And then weeks 4 to 8, you're fully ramped up, booking 8 to 30 qualified meetings a month. Some clients close deals within the first weeks, us actually working together. Some, it takes a little longer because their sales cycles are longer. But yeah, it really, within the first month, you can start seeing results if you really do put your head down. If you have enough case studies and if you commit to this, it works. I mean, LinkedIn is the hub of B2B. It's where all the decision makers are active. This is kind of what you can expect in terms of timeline. And once again, this is the result of the process that I just laid out for you. Virality is overrated. Just LinkedIn is 100% about building authority, staying consistent, and starting qualified conversations and using those psychological levers at a high level. So that's exactly how you can start booking 10 to 20 sales calls every single month with LinkedIn. And if you want this implemented for you only with a 1 hour to 30-minute commitment per month on your side, click the link in the description, book a call with us, and we'll see if this is a fit. And if you are, I'll show you exactly how we can help you sign 2 to 5 new clients every single month using LinkedIn as the main engine. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more value, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.